I actually just have to start off by agreeing with Gita about this is actually my favorite event at Western every year, and I realized standing back there that I've actually had the opportunity to hear 56 recipients' speeches, and so I feel quite honored about that. And I'm equally honored to actually to hear that my colleague was a recipient for the award this year, Marcia Steyaert, who is in our Communications and Public Affairs Department, and at such a young age, she's one of our longer-standing staff members there. But I just wanted to look at, there's a long laundry list of attributes and characteristics that I could really share with you about Marcia, but I'm just going to sort of pick three. And so the first attribute that I admire about her skills is her focus. And I hope it's all right. I brought up a visual aid to demonstrate her focus. So picture you're coming out of a meeting. Most of us would tend to get a coffee or a water or something and then make your way back to your desk. But if you get out of a meeting and you look over, you pass by Marcia's desk, this is what you see and hear. And just as a way of comparison, this is what you'd hear if you walk by my desk. So it's not just it's not the speed alone, it's the pressure. I think this might be one of her old keyboards, because she goes through about one a week. But she is probably one of the hardest working and most focused people. If you asked her, what did we do about this last year, she wouldn't just say, well, I can look it up. Within about 5 minutes, you'd have a 10-point email explaining in detail what had actually gone on last year. So that's one of the traits that I admire about her. Another trait or characteristic that strikes me is her bravery. And some might ask, how could you actually be brave in a university? Like we're not under threat. Maybe government cuts, I guess, but her bravery, I think her last 18 months in our department, to me, highlight her bravery, because as you all know, we have great employees in our organization who sometimes move around. So if you look back about 18 months ago, our director of employee communications and development at communications got a great job. Malcolm Ruddock got a great job in the president's office. And as you all know, when somebody moves, their work doesn't move with them. So that has to be kept going. So Marcia stepped into that role, did a fabulous job. Next person comes along, gets another great opportunity at Western. Ann Hutchinson moved from media relations over to HR to a fabulous position there. Marcia steps in to I don't know if those that are close to the fire of media relations, but it can be a hot place sometimes. And she did just a fabulous job in keeping that moving forward until we were able to get someone to take the reins of that, which Keith has done now. And then, to top it all off, our editor of the Western Alumni Gazette, David Scott, moved into a secondment within another part of the department. So she stepped into David Scott's mind. So that's a scary spot. And she just, I don't know if anyone who is alumni or has picked one up on the stands, but talk about a tough issue to walk into. It's the new brand. So, it arrives the day of the announcement of the new brand. So that's pretty darn impressive that she was able to pull that off. So that's why I think she's one of the bravest people I know, because there's a saying that it's attributed to a number of different people, but you can't cross the ocean unless you lose sight of the shore, and she's always losing sight of the shore, and I admire her for that. I'm not saying she's not afraid of things, but she's brave, and I think that overcomes the fear. So I think that's another thing that I admire about her. The last sort of trait that comes to mind, and as I say, there's a ton of them, is her balance. And I know we want employees at Western to give their all, and she gives more than her all. 3 o'clock in the morning, snow days, 3 o'clock in the morning, potential labor situations, she's there. But the beauty of Marcia is that she has this beautiful balance between this place and her place at home, and she's got 2 great kids, and they'll be fabulous adults and maybe hopefully fabulous Mustangs at some point. But she's got it. And she, Boys and Girls Club she supports. There's a group that she knows in her home community that collects milk bags to make mats for people to keep them off the ground. she starts collecting she just steps up to the plate no matter what. So she's got a beautiful balance in herself and in her life. So I think that I admire that as well. And I remember actually being part of helping steer the organization of these awards. And we went out to, I think we did a total of 13 focus groups to talk to people what would be meaningful to you as far as an award. And there was Mike, I think, from Facilities Management, Physical Plant at the time, said, I think what we're really looking for when we nominate someone for the Western Award of Excellence is the complete package. And I present you Marcia Steyaert, who is the real deal, the complete package. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Geeta and Scott May, for nominating me along with Jeff Renault and David Scott. It's a real honor to be acknowledged like this. And thank you to the selection committee and to HR and the team of people that put today's event together. It's been really nice. I also want to thank my colleagues for coming today. I know it's an extremely busy time right now. We are shifting into the new branding and the campaign's heating up, and it really does mean a great deal that so many of you could be here today. Thank you to my mom, Judy, my husband, Mike, and my mentor and my good friend, David Astock, for making the trip to campus today as well. I'm very humbled to be honored in this way, and it really hit me, I think, when I opened up Western News and read the profiles of the other winners. It struck me that it is people like you, all of you, who really do make a difference on campus. Particularly, all of you are on the front line with students, and it's you that make the Western experience so meaningful for so many people. So I'm very, very honored to be acknowledged alongside of you. I've had, as Scott mentioned, I've had the privilege of playing various roles in communications since I started here in 1998. And I've worked with individuals from all across campus. I've been involved with emergency situations like the blackout in 2003, the LTC strike in 2009, exciting times like the Canada Games, and the recruitment of Adrian Owen, and huge donations like the one from Seymour Schulich. And it's during these times that I have been part of teams and witnessed to teams of people coming together from all across campus, with each person saying from every area, what can I do to help? How can I make a difference? What can we do together for Western? And it's incredible to me that a place as large and complex as Western is, that in those moments, this place really does feel like a family. And I have to thank David Astock, first of all, for hiring me fresh out of school, for seeing something in me that I really didn't see in myself. And most of all, thank you, David, for showing me that you don't always have to have all the answers, but that it's hard work and empathy and a desire to learn and not be afraid to fail that is what counts. Thank you, too, to Helen Connell for being a role model for me, and for having the confidence in my abilities and allowing me so many different opportunities to branch out and try different things while still being in the same, in the department. To my parents, my mom's here today, thank you for being my biggest cheerleaders and for providing the best example of good parents that I can imagine. Thanks for being my personal media monitoring service as well, for sending me notes and calling me anytime you heard that Western was in the news, for good or for bad. Thank you to my husband, Mike, for your unwavering support and your sense of humor when I needed it the most, and for understanding and accepting my relationship with my laptop. And for being there for our boys sometimes when I couldn't be because of work. Last and certainly not least, I really do have to thank and acknowledge my colleagues in communications and public affairs. To get to work and to learn from such bright people, bright and creative people, but most of all kind, is something that I never will take for granted. And it's your support and your sense of humor that sustains me every day, and above all, your work really does inspire me. Thank you very much.